All right, this is the last bit, home stretch. Okay, luckily this is pretty easy. Basically, it's going to give you zeros, and it says to write an equation. Do keep in mind that it says to write an equation, which means your answer should have an equal sign in it. That's probably the most common mistake I see in people. We're going to have an answer, and at the end we are going to put a y equals in front of it. So basically, if you have a 4, you want to write it into a factor, which is x minus 4. If you have a minus 3, you do an x plus 3. And if you have a 5, you put an x minus 5. That is because, when you're writing it and it's a 0, then 4 would be a 0, because 4 minus 4 is 0. Negative 3 plus 3 is 0. You always do the opposite, because that guarantees that they will be 0. And it says to write an equation, so I write a y equals in front. And this is in factored form. So if the test said do it in factored form, you would be done. Which I'll show you a different one foiled out later. I'm just trying to help you set these up. So in this one, pause it for a second, see if you can guess it. Okay, and then it's going to be x minus 2, x plus 7, and x minus 1. Like that, but making sure it's an equation, you put a y equals in front. All right, these bottom two are a little different because, well, it has this random I here. The x plus 2 you can do like normal, but anytime you have an I problem, and not just with glasses, I problem, get it? Anytime you have a negative version, you will also have a positive one. It's just a thing that happens. Look through your notes if you don't know why, but anytime you have an I, both the positive and negative version will work. And part of being a polynomial is you can't have i's, you can't have imaginary numbers, which means you are forced to actually FOIL this part out so it'll go away. And they will go away 100% of the time. So when you FOIL, x times x is x squared, x times 4i is 4ix. Negative 4i times x is minus 4ix. Good morning. And then negative 4i times positive 4i would be a minus. 4 times 4 is 16, and I times I is I squared. And the reason everything kind of goes away is because these are opposites, they cancel. And I squared has this special property where I squared is equal to negative 1. Since I squared is negative 1, that is going to change this to a positive. So all you have left is this x squared and this plus 16. And then you drop down this x plus 2 and equal sign, like so. All right. So the last one, I'll set it up, I'll do this one, and this one I'll actually get all the way to standard form by FOILing the whole thing out. Once again, I recommend pausing, seeing if you can at least set it up the first step. So you get x minus 6, because it's a positive, and then you have to do both i's, both positive and negative. It does not matter which one's first, but you do have to put both of them. So x plus 3i and x minus 3i. And once again, you will FOIL those ones. And always FOIL those first. Don't go left to right. Definitely don't go left to right. FOIL i's first. So you get x squared, x times 3i, 3i times x, and a positive 3 times a negative 3 is a negative 9, and I times I is I squared. But once again, this I squared is equal to negative 1, which means this minus 9 is going to become a plus 9, and those cancel. And finally, as I said, I was going to do it in standard form, so you FOIL again. X times x is x to the third. X times 9 is 9x. Minus 6x squared. minus 54. And just because I like to, I'm going to write it in descending order. X cubed, x squared, x constant. Done. Okay. If you want to know what those other ones look like in standard form, just check out the answer key, which I'll do a freeze frame of. No, I'm just going to post it online. Have a good one.